Just watching an interview of Chris Evans and fake princess herself, Anna de Armas. Fake princess herself who stole all of my money and all of my time with my husband. So nice of you, Anna de Armas. Look how they set them up as like a couple. Anna de Armas and Chris Evans test how well they know each other. Because it's so important for Chris Evans to know who the fake princess is. Of course, we're not Claire. Of course, I hear them. Of course, I hear the highfalutin conversations of the fake princess crowd. Yeah, I feel pretty sick recording. No, I don't really want to record. I didn't really want to get out of bed today. I had the idea, oh, I have change, so let me see if I have enough change to buy another pack of cigarettes, and I did. I had enough to buy the cheapest pack of cigarettes they had in the store. I took the energy from money last night. And I guess some people were getting upset about that and they were saying, we're going to starve to death. We're going to starve to death because a lot of people know that money has no energy. The only thing that has real energy would be me. Hi, my name's Elissa Janello. I am the New World Order Princess, and I am here to attempt to free humanity, but they keep fighting back because of their jealousy and their conceitedness and thinking that they need to have like a normal, routine human life. And her name today is Anna de Armas. And it's just making me very depressed. Um, Here's the cheap pack of cigarettes I bought. Montego, menthols. My arm still really hurts. It hurts here in the shoulder and also hurts like here. And it's hard for me to put my arm behind my back. It really hurts for me to put my arm behind my back. So that is going to release some codes. So I'm sort of just waiting for those codes to get released. What else can I say? So we all had a collective bad dream last night, and I woke up and I talked to Rion about it, and he was like, well, we're going to clear it. And how we cleared it is we went to the therapy house, and then I woke up again and I kept hearing like, call the police, call the police, call the police. And I was like, who is that saying that? Is that Hayden? Then I said, someone go check on Hayden, because I also was like having a lot of low energy. Hayden came into my room last night when I was laying in bed, and he said, Princess, please no. And then that happened last night. um, I found the Super NES. I don't feel like getting it. We've been looking for this. Me and Liam, one of my nephews, we've been looking for this the little NES. It's like the tiny one, and we knew we had it somewhere in the house, but we couldn't find it. And then I was this morning. I looked in that drawer completely randomly, and it was in this drawer, in this regular drawer that I look in literally like almost every day because it has a lot of freshest stuff in there, like his brush and everything. And the Super NES was right there, and I was like, well, I guess it's a regular NES. And I was like, oh my God, it's right here. Like I look in this drawer literally like every day, pretty much. And how have I never seen it before? Because it's literally in the store that I look in every day. And I'm like, okay, I think I really shifted realities to a reality where it's in that drawer. And it wasn't in that drawer, say, yesterday. Because how could I miss like a gaming console like sitting in the drawer? Okay, so you need to correct what you're saying right now to me, and you can't say any of those words to me. Those are all completely useless words that go against the kingdom of Elissa, and that's the kingdom that we are currently residing in. And it just, like you're trying to like usurp the queen's power, and that's obviously like the bleed through of what the men are going through right now. And the men are attacking back, and then it's like a bleed through, and then it'll come up to me and it'll escalate to me. But all of that is completely illegal because it is all my space and it is all my earth. And we should all know that by now. So I guess that I'm sending out like a World War III call because of this battle that you guys keep going against me and my men, and you don't let me get married in this current reality where the real princess sits. You just like refuse to let me get married. And so like I keep going to these different universes every night, and I was in this universe last night, and the girl was like, she's married to Timothy Chalamet here. Who is she married to in your universe? And I was like, I answered her directly, and I said, I'm literally single. The real princess is literally single in her universe, and I'm not married to Timothy Chalamet. The real princess is not married. So that's a fake universe where the fake princess is married to fake Timothy Chalamet, right? But they're getting confused in the parallel universes because they're like, well, she's kind of embodying it here. Like she's married to Timothy Chalamet here, she's married to Jen here, she's married to Hayden here, she's married to Chris here, whatever. But the real princess, that would be me, Elissa. I'm currently single and I'm not married to any of my men. And I think we need to acknowledge that, um, that, to move forward. And yes, all of that fighting is draining my energy, and I don't really feel like talking. And I'm sweating profusely. And it's like in the middle of winter and it's like freezing cold outside. And I wake up and I'm like sweating profusely, like sweating like way more than I sweated in the summer. Like I'm sweating like a lot. Did I talk about the 4D mouth coming online? I've been seeing the 4D mouth come online through the phone, through the TV, and in real life, where because you guys are all saying this stuff, this crap against me and everything telepathically, and then you're not acknowledging that you're telepathic because you've gotten by with telepathy for survival because you're evil and because you won't come forward as to how like you get energy from the black market and in these shady ways, and you think that the telepathy is like protecting you. And so we're raising in 4D, we're already ascending. And so we're raising to meet that telepathy, and that telepathy is going to start like over lapping your mouth, and you're going to start seeing it. And some of you have probably already seen it with different people in your life. I saw it in the bank yesterday. I saw this woman trying to make fun of me that works at the bank, and her 4D mouth automatically overtook her and corrected her, and she couldn't make fun of me anymore. Because you guys are literally ridiculous. You know who the fuck I am. And you said yesterday you won't come forward and say that I'm the real princess because you're literally attacking me. Why would we come forward and say she's the real princess if we're living against her? Right? Because that's your livelihood. Well, guess what? I heard everything, and so did the energy. And of course, you're still fighting back, right? And Anna de Armas wants to blame me for the bad dreams she's having when all she has to do is acknowledge that I'm the real. I mean, that is acknowledging that I'm the real princess. When she's like coming forward and she's like, why am I having bad dreams, Elissa? Make it stop. And it's like, okay, well, why are you coming to Elissa then? Because you're acknowledging that she's God. You're acknowledging that I'm the princess, right? And you're asking it to stop. And I've already told you how to make it stop. Stop making yourself a big deal. Stop thinking you're important. Stop thinking you live in this weird reality where nobody acknowledges the princess when we already actually are acknowledging her, and they want to come forward and support me. Let today be the day where you come forward and support the princess. How many times do I have to say that? If there's no energy in money, there's no reason to live for money, right? So I'm probably just going to play video games today and like keep it chill and keep it low. My dads are kind of like babying me right now. That's what they call it, babying me. And it's sort of like, I think I've talked about that. It's sort of like when they're going to work and taking care of business. And it makes me like the childlike empress. It makes me like the little princess of the world. And you will eventually see it. You will eventually see me turn into a holy divine child right in front of your eyes. And that's for all the stupid women that are like, oh my God, she's so old. You're literally going to see me turn into a child, right? Like an 11-year-old or something like that, right? My name's 11, remember? Also, Brandon Lee died when I was 16, not when I was 12 or 13 or 14, whatever year he died. I think it was 13. He died when I was 16, and he was actually in the second movie, the second Crow movie, which I didn't even know was a franchise until like a couple days ago. So that's like another like weird MK Ultra thing. Like the Crow is like a freaking franchise, and those are all Brandon and Mai's movies, and that means it's all Brandon and Mai's money. And that was an MK Ultra timeline shift that when we fell, and then all of a sudden there's like a different guy in the second movie, and it's not Brandon, but it actually is Brandon. And the timekeepers somehow shifted the timelines to make Brandon look like he died sooner than he actually did. They did the same thing with Max, and I've already said that story like, I don't know, probably 10 times this year. So the dream last night, I was an artist. I could draw really well, and I drew all these creatures from outer space. And I was showing them to my friends, and they were like really impressed by the way I drew all these cool creatures. And they were like all these very rich people. And obviously, that was the real princess in the suit, aka me, Elissa Janello. And I was yelling at them using my mouth, and I was like, "Look, you can't ignore me anymore. You have to come forward and acknowledge me, or it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and you can't keep doing this to us." And they were like really angry at me for saying that. These were like really angry rich people. They weren't like laughing about it or anything like that. They were taking it very seriously and becoming extremely angry at me for demanding that they take the real princess seriously this time. I think that's it. We've been going to the therapy house a lot, so that's a bleed through of the future. So you can um, expect, if we keep going in this direction, you can expect the therapy house to exist on a national scale level and to be widely accepted. And as it was in the 80s and the 90s when you guys kept resisting the truth and resisting the future and replaying these damn memories over and over and over in your mind and depressing the entire world as if there's like no way out. And that's like all of the depression that I'm like eating right now, because it's like all of like the wives and the moms, the new moms or whatever, and they do it all for attention. They like cry and they get depressed. They call it postpartum depression when really what they're getting is like all of these memories, and then they use it for attention on the internet. You know how I said like how I acted like I was having a baby a few months ago, and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to get postpartum depression from just acting like I'm having a baby. And here I am. I have like zero energy and I'm crying profusely every single night. I'm sorry I'm not recording it, but I'm telling you that it's happening because I'm getting all of those downloads. And those are downloads that are shared with the new mom group. And then they go to therapy and then they talk about their dreams and stuff like that. And I'm having dreams of the therapy house and seeing like moms that hate their babies and hate their lives and hate their husbands and are just like horrible moms and stuff to the community. And then like they go back to their normal life and then they're like kind of shrewd or kind of short tempered and stuff like that. And that's how they act in like normal 3D society. But like they're having like all these extremely like horrible nightmares. And Tim called it horror royale with cheese. And so all of you new moms that get postpartum depression, I want you to know that's fake, and that's all of my energy and all of my trauma that you are using for attention in my world. And I am allowed to talk about it, and I am allowed to suck all of that energy back so that you can't take any credit for my nightmares or my hidden timelines that are not false, that are real, and that did happen to me. And yeah, it's like you keep thinking like, oh, like, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. Like nobody forced you to like have a baby. Like you sign like a document in outer space. You know exactly what's going to happen to you when you get pregnant or when you're like just trying to get pregnant. You have a dream and you have sign a document that the child is Elissa's child. And then you act shocked and surprised when your child says things to you like, you're not my mom and stuff like that, because you know exactly the truth, what the truth is. And you get shocked that like the baby is like so bold and like the baby like actually says the truth. And then you start falling in dimensions and you start experiencing negative outer space. And then you want to look for someone to blame. And the only person that you have to blame is yourself, because you were warned the entire way. All right. You know, if you're making me depressed, I am the one molecule, and that will backlash, whiplash the entire world, and the entire world will fall into a state of complete depression, right? And there was like another thing where like, oh my God, I'm about to be split again. And that's because you're living and you're choosing to live in cognitive dissonance. Okay, that if you're choosing to live in cognitive dissonance, you are definitely going to be split. I definitely was split last time because I was listening to 3D, that I'm just a normal person, and then I experienced a negative timeline because of that. I'm not a normal person. I am the special princess of the universe, and I have to agree with myself to not have those things happen to me. And no, you are not named Elissa Janello. So no, you are not the special princess of the universe. You are just my energy. Okay. And you will act according to such, or you will be split. And that's why you're like, oh my God, I'm about to be split again. I feel like I'm about to starve to death again. And they mean that in an energetic manner. They actually have food in the house and stuff like that and food on the shelves, but they mean energetically, because you can starve yourself of energy, right? If you're living outside of the line. And again, people know that, and they say these very human words because you're not allowed to say this kind of stuff, right? In the 3D world, because it like triggers like 3D society. So like, how are we supposed to talk about this then, right? That's why I'm taking my entire power back, and I'm describing it to you line by line, word for word, how what they mean. Money means energy to them. Starving to death means that they're going to run out of energy. It's all energy based, and they know that, and they use these very specific human words to keep to try to keep themselves in power in 3D, and the whole world is in on it. I see the government. I see the government and or science proving that telepathy is real to move us ahead and to make us ascend and to get these horrible memories pushed out of us. That's what I see coming. And so that's a lot of the shock that I've been trying to push out of the way of 3D this year by talking. And a lot of the mental chatter that we heard the last 7 to 10 years has all left. A lot of the concern for me when something like we had nightmares last night. And usually when I have a nightmare, I wake up with a very concerned feminine voice saying to me, "Okay, well, let's talk about it." It's sort of like a she sort of sounds like a therapist, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you feel it. It feels like cheating to you or something. Let's talk about it." All of that stuff has gone. All of that stuff has been cleared, right? Or it's because we're choosing to confront this stuff, and they know that like the jig is up and they're being caught, and they weren't talking to the real princess the whole time, and they knew that, right? All of that concern is just gone for me. I had a nightmare last night. I went to Rione. We talked about it, and Rione was like, "We're going to clear it. Off to the therapy house we go," because, we're a couple. And look, I'm like hesitating to say me and Rione is a couple, right? But we know how to handle this, and we're going to clear it energetically by going to the therapy house. So that's what I see coming. That's what's happening. It's obviously not a very like fun, uplifting feeling for the holidays. It's obviously very mentally overwhelming to see these negative memories being played out over and over and over again. And all of these false women thinking that they're saying their bank accounts are real when they're really referring to their families. See, that's what I'm saying. There's these overlapping like ways of talking about it. They're calling their family their bank accounts. Okay. I think if you're the FBI or the CIA, you should like start investigating that manner of speaking, because it's obviously related to pizza parties, right? Like there's this whole other manner of speaking. And maybe the FBI and CIA are like aware of some of that lingo. And I'm releasing the documents to the public right now. You see the light purple right here? No, I see it. It's my crown color. I like people are like reasoning with me like, "Oh, should she buy a pack of cigarettes with all the change in her purse, or should she buy like loose tobacco and like rolling cigarettes?" And I'm like, why am I having this conversation? Like, why is this conversation even happening? Like, I don't want to hear like, "Oh, what should she buy?" Like freaking cigarettes or whatever. It should be like, put Elissa in her castle right now. Give Elissa to Tim and Ezra right now. Start the New World Order right now. And that's where I get super angry, Like, why are we talking about what Elissa should buy from the dollar store with the change that she found in her purse this morning? Okay, we should be talking about putting Elissa in her fucking castle. Okay, I don't care about you fighting back. You need to understand that the jig is up, and that we do know telepathy is real, and that we are evolving as a collective society, and you are fucking around and finding out. Okay, as much as you don't want to admit it or whatever, like we saw like people doing crazy shit on the internet yesterday. You think that shit's not going to manifest into a strong public performance? Yes, it is. It's definitely going to be a very solid thing on the internet that you're going to be able to see, because they're, not giving up because of their quote unquote bank accounts, right? So we need to admit that 3D reality is based on this false money system. Okay. And there people are calling their families their bank accounts. And that sounds illegal to me. I don't know about you, but to call your family your bank account, I think that's probably like that sounds kind of shady and that sounds kind of manipulative and that sounds kind of like controlling and ego based. Um, and I think that that needs to be probably investigated by the FBI and the CIA and the any other government agency that's listening in. I think I'm getting promoted to like head investigator, so I'm pulling back a piece of mine. She hasn't walked in yet. Again, I think she's related to this arm that's weak. Um, so I'm used to pulling pieces of myself back to me. Yes, that is to help my little brother Adam, who is in charge of the police force, and my brother David. Um, so I mean, Trump's already declaring war on Canada and Mexico, but please, let's keep going, right? Because some people want World War III to happen because they just like it boggles their mind that they're like fucking around and finding out and they can't just like be honest at this point. And so they're like, oh, what's the way out? Oh, maybe it's World War III. Maybe World War III is the way out. You know, I mean, we know we're talking over walls by now. And we use it to keep ourselves safe during World War III if it does happen to occur. Which I mean, it's not really a big deal, right? Like, it's just a world war. Like, why would we want to prevent that and like try to like all go in the same direction and put Elissa in her castle in a peaceful and uplifting manner? Like, no, let's just keep going into like negativity land, right? It's all my fault, right? They're my memories. I'm allowed to get them back. They're literally my memories, Elissa's memories, okay? I'm allowed to get them back, okay? I was prevented from marrying, I don't know if I talk about this, but I was prevented from marrying my college boyfriend, Gabe. And that was like the first time where I met the perfect man. I was a freshman in college here at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and I met him like on my first day of school. And there's this whole timeline that got deleted. Obviously, it's close to this 3D timeline because these are my like 3D parents and my 3D siblings and stuff like that. And so it's, I think it's like a really close timeline to us. So it's affecting my energy. So I met this perfect guy in college, my first year. And there was this whole timeline that got deleted where we basically got married like right away, started a family right away. And then we had like a very stable, like cute house and like cute life in like North Jersey, close to New Brunswick, where we went to school. And, you know, like commuted into the city and stuff like that. And we just had like a really nice, normal life. And that got deleted. We fell and it kept going and falling and falling, falling until it fell into the therapy house. And then I moved on and I moved onto New York City with Jeremy and tried again. That got deleted and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's whole like East Coast timelines that have gotten deleted where I had like a nice normal 3D existence. And yeah, that makes me a little sad because how you treat the one molecule is how you treat yourself. And so if the one molecule can have a nice marriage, then that means that the world can have a nice marriage. And yeah, so that's pretty sad to me. Okay, Ana de Armas, are you listening? Do you still think you're important? So I'm dealing with the grief of that 3D timeline and yeah, I tend to meet the perfect man over time and space, and I'm not allowed to marry him. So, I mean, imagine calling Gabe evil is like crazy to me. Like, he's like literally the sweetest guy in the world. Like, he's so freaking kind and sweet and gentle. It's just like bizarre to me that I'm hearing what the world is saying. And they're like, yeah, because her and Gabe are extremely evil. and that's why they didn't want us to get married. And it's like, I can't imagine anybody ever saying that literally about Gabe at all. It's crazy to me. All right, I think I'm done.